Hell, I'm back and got a bunch of things on my desk here. So let me see here. Hello. Uh, get Chris maybe to add this on to the one we just did, or this will be another grouping. Sorry about that. It's just kind of a little busy. uh, this was. This was sent into Chris, I think, and then over to Drew. This is about a weeping ankle. Livia, this is, let me see, they've had a major surgery on the ankle there. It's weeping. The left side of my nostril started to weep clear fluids. I'm very concerned and scared and near tears and trying to rectify the problem. I thought you said this is an ankle, and then we've got mucus coming from the nose as well. They've got a fracture here, several surgeries, bunionectomy. So you're really having big-time lymphatic problems. Big-time lymphatic problems. This is why you're slow to heal, why you're oozing, and why you're dripping out of the nose. And this is, you sent me your blood workup, and if you go back to the creatinine, you're 1.08, unacceptable, way too high, and even they acknowledge this from this lab, which I'm so happy they are. So it's telling your kidneys are going, which is your lymphatic system, and of course this is why the weeping ankle. Your lymph system has to clean up the mess, not your blood. Remember that? So your lymph system is the janitorial system and the sewer system of the human body. And looking at your eyes here, which we have, ooh, lymph, 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 lymph. A lot of lymph and deterioration of the upper femur right side, and I can actually say bilaterally you look the same there. That could be the adrenal glands imposing in on that one, though, on the left side. It's enough to say that got to do raw, raw, raw. Really, I would kick up my parathyroid, do the Bones formula. You could rub a salve on that wound down there, the surgical area. As far as nose dripping, try to kick it up another notch and see if you can get it to run. You don't want it to drip, you want it to run. And get your sinuses cleaned out, get your lymph moving, but you got to get into your kidneys and fix those kidneys there, dear one. That's not good. 1.08, you're moving quick to 2. That wouldn't be good. They'd be talking to you about dialysis here in the future. I thank you, Reforced. You're going after this, Reforced 14 fertility. I'll have to read that from Frederick Kaufman. I'll have to see what he says on that. Although I tell you the truth, I'm about burnt out at reading. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes it's better if you just, like I say, turn off the news, quit reading, and enjoy creation for what it is. It's just one of our issues that keeps me driving, and I need to listen to my own advice. Just too much insanity out there, too much low consciousness, like you see out there. It's amazing. I was just reading someone's journey in the hospital, and this was Katie. Hi, sweetheart. Listen, so she hurt her. She's in New Zealand. She hurt herself somewhere in overseas or something, having some fun somewhere or something. Anyway, you hurt your knee and you had to have surgery. Gee, many Christmas. And so they have you on antibiotics, and of course you went under the knife, so the anesthesia. So you got to clean this neurotoxicity out of your body. The antibiotics use Parasite M instead. Remember, infection, you just had trauma to tissue, which creates acidosis. Same thing with the lymph. So if you're not moving lymph on top of trauma, this is where you get the weeping ankles and stuff. This is where you don't heal well. You're in for multiple surgeries. Things just don't come in contact well. This is why the same thing we're doing right now is the same thing you would do for that. You could accelerate that by pumping the greens, though, and that would be advantageous, is to pump the greens a little bit. At the same time, comfrey, golden seal, horsetail, all these healing herbs, adaptogens, anything like that will do well with that. But we have a bones formula that'll accelerate the healing of even that one. Same thing with the weeping ankle. But you got to move lymph on top of that. Bacteria, matter of fact, some of you like probiotics. Well, why take an antibiotic? You know, I mean, the bacteria is trying to clean up the mess if they're present. And that's all it is. But you got to move your lymph there, sweetheart. I would like to visit you in New Zealand, definitely. This is the knee. Knee. She's on crutches, the poor thing, and hey, love you, hon. You got to, get yourself raw, get yourself detox. That'll help heal that ankle. Kick up the parathyroid a little bit. Start sucking down some kelp. Definitely, we got some healing salves you can use for that. I'm sure you got them in New Zealand. Throw some on there, get some comfrey or something, and that'll really help you that way. Parasite M for an antibiotic, absolutely. You don't want to kill your lymph node antibiotic, bacteria and all that as well. That'll just compromise your health there a little bit. This one is the Ouija bird. Hey there. I gotta love that name. This is anxiety, heart palpitation, chest pains, and healing crisis. This is a history of panic attacks and anxieties. On meds for 3 years. Just kind of going through this. Having pains in the upper torso, stabbing pain, somewhere in the heart center, heart palpitation, nightmares, thin bits of undigested food in the stools, anxiety and panic attacks. Sounds like your problem's right in the stomach area. Remember, that's where the nerve ganglia is tied with the autonomic. That's controlled by the adrenals. So there's no question you want to bring up your adrenal glands and get your kidneys to filter. That's an obvious. But I'll tell you in what you're saying here, you're reaching all to the heart center, the shoulder. You're reaching here from the stomach with the bits of undigested food suggesting of pancreatitis. So, I mean, when you start looking at those sort of things, it sounds like you also made comment, I think, where didn't you have something going on with the appendix swelling? Let me see what else here. She's waiting for a barium enema to check that acid reflux. In my opinion, you have an acid reflux that, I mean, you could, if you have undigested foods, you could be low in producing bicarbonate, could be effectual to hydrochloric acid. But on the same tone here, you really sound like you have big-time interstitial lymphatic constipation. Remember those 3 words. Interstitial lymphatic constipation. Your appendix is swelling. That means your lymph system in your gut wall is backed up. This would go right on up to the stomach. This would lead right into the autonomic. This would create chest pains, lung pains, sternum pains. Everything's up for grabs. Back, same way. Go resonate right to the back. Remember, every vertebrae relates to every part of your body. You know how God makes everything like this. So you can have reflex pains to the back and then deteriorate the back from this. It's just everything is so tied together in the human body that one part affects another part, obviously. So this is a lymphatic problem again. Work with the stomach and bowel formulas on the gut. Really got to move lymph. Sounds like a chronic problem you got here. So don't freak out. It's going to take you a little while. Maybe get in the GI broom. You got to move lymph or you'll lose the appendix and, you know, who knows what's going on with the bowels and all that. But this sounds like a GI tract problem. I mean, you definitely have adrenals and kidneys, but this is the nerve ganglia, and you can have chest pains, heart palpitations from stomach problems. And that's what this sounds like to me in looking at your case here. Either way, you're going to clean up the whole body doing this anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But still, in everything you're saying here, boy, you really got to move lymph here. And you're probably a little chronic in there. Look at your eyes. Do you have brown or orange around the pupil there? If you're blue-eyed, if you're brown-eyed, are you deeper brown in the middle of the pupil? But you have a heavy head, more inflammation in my chest, burning sensations in my legs. Let's see, there are times when I am lying with my eyes closed and I feel like I'm floating upside down, doing a headstand. Oh, you're really backed up. You're really backed up. This is all nerve pain, acids on the nerve. This is relating to the cerebellum and where you feel like you're swimming or out-of-body experience, the wrong out-of-body experience. I don't know if there is one. But all that sounds like lymph to me, a Ouija bird. Get your lymph moving. Go on a great fast. Really dig in and get the lymph. Take a stomach and bowel, lymphatic 1 capsules three times a day. I would. Maybe get in the GI broom, definitely hit adrenals and kidneys and get all that moving. You need to drain the head, drain the back, get the stomach fixed up. You could use marshmallow tea, slippery elm tea, comfrey, things like that to help heal the gut. But this is a lymphatic stagnation problem. That's why you see the appendix swelling. That's why you see all that connection there. So yeah, bit of an issue here for you. Really want to tear it apart. Sounds like you're in a chronic state here. So just tear it apart. You want to see mucus in your stools. You want to see all this stuff starting to come out. Remember the sediment in the urine. Definitely want to see that because your legs are involved too. But that nerve ganglia can be going all the way from your back all the way down to your feet. So, and even your stomach and all this, these nerves all end in the feet as well. So you can be feeling that down there. All this burning is, of course, is how you feel with acids. So that really you're going to have to tear into this and really get into detox deeper and get into that flow there. This is a rat face kick. I've never heard of a Ioannidis machine. I've never heard of that. But boy, does that sound good. Forget blended banana ice cream. This stuff is a whole new level. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. You guys and all you really smart guys out there and gals, you're going to make things so much better for people. I'm just excited. It'll be interesting to see what your generation and the next generations do with this. It's so exciting what we can do. It'd be nice to bring the tropics to Florida at least so America can have some idea of what that's like. Our Canadian friends too. You know, these poor people are way up there in the cold. I feel for them as well. This is Reforest 14 again. There's a documentary film, Release Diabetes in 30 Days with Raw Foods. Wouldn't start the whole fruits be the protocol here. I was talking about this, 2 types of sugar problems. We have sugar metabolism problems, which is the cortisol link, the adrenal gland link. And then we have the I'm not producing enough insulin problem. Now, you could get to the nervous system relationship to the beta cells, the islets, and that could be a neurological or a pancreatic issue with type 1. But in type 2, on hypo, they're both hypo and hyperglycemia. Actually, they're the opposite sides of the same coin, sugar metabolism problems. I'll say this, that even fruits and vegetables, you can have a little bit of a problem with that. A little bit, because it's sugar metabolism problems. So you still want to avoid starches and all that, and your blood sugars will pretty rectify normal. But even with type 2, if you go way up and down, big deal. However, type 1, again, I just proved this to another lady. Type 1, she's on an insulin pump. So she's been going on. I knew she wasn't doing the diet, you can tell. So, you know, finally she's getting really low blood sugars and then low highs. I said, listen, just put you on, I want her 1 week, nothing but fruits, berries, and melons, 1 week. Give me 1 week, because she's been picking up some chicken and fish, and I'm going, what? You know, and this, so they can't regulate their blood sugars doing crap like that. So I told her, just go raw fruits, berries, and melons for 1 week. Blood sugar's 50. Well, you know, insulin pump, time to get rid of it. Her blood sugars never spike over 200 anyway. So she needs to go to her MD, get rid of her insulin pump, go on. She didn't need insulin at all. Remember, insulin's like any other hormone. You take it, your body quits making it. So she's well on her way to being fine. This is the lady that got type 1 from surgery, anesthesia, neurological type 1. But on fruit,